Well, for Americans concerned about Donald Trump becoming the next president of the United States, there's a property owner in Atlantic Canada who has an interesting offer. Greg Hemmings is selling his cottage in New Brunswick, and he's using a unique marketing plan to drum up interest, billing his cottage as the Trump Retreat. Hemmings believes that it is the perfect getaway for the disenfranchised Americans. He is joining us now to tell us more. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. And if you want to retreat from all that heat in Ontario, it's cold and rainy here in New Brunswick, and I've got a cottage for you.
Okay, I purposely skirted around the name of this town. How do you pronounce it?
Quispamsis, New Brunswick. Now, it is a word that only New Brunswickers really know how to say. I don't know if it's born into us. It's a regular name for us, but from most outsiders, it's a difficult one to pronounce.
Okay, is it easier to get to than it is to pronounce?
It sure is. We're 15 minutes away from the airport in St. John, New Brunswick. So it is our neighboring community along the beautiful Chemicases River.
Tell us why you're selling this piece of paradise and why you're dubbing it the Trump Retreat. Okay,
well, good question, because everybody is wondering, why would I want to sell such a beautiful piece of property that I keep on telling people how beautiful it is, and it truly is. It's as simple as this. On the other side of this computer is where you can see a beautiful forest where I am at my house. So we live kind of in the woods where we live on a regular basis, and our cottage is 25 minutes away on the Chemicases River. So two beautiful places, but we want to have one. So the life goal here is for us to live in a cottage environment. So it's time to consolidate a few things and find that dream piece of property somewhere else on the Chemicases River. But step one is to download a property or two.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, simple as that.
And you're marketing it as a place to get away from Donald Trump. How'd you come up with that?
Well, I didn't want to steal the Cape Breton marketing craze that happened. But a friend of mine, I went to a conference with Seth Godin in New York a few months ago, and a friend of mine that I met there is a real estate buyer down in Atlanta, Georgia. He also owns a large ice cream company. And he saw me posting all these funny little gimmicks on Facebook about us trying to sell the cottage. For example, there's a video of my daughter saying, "Please don't buy this place. You cannot buy it." Like, we're always putting these funny little things on Facebook. And then he called me up and goes, "Greg, you've got no idea. Like, number one, the price point is so cheap for Americans looking for a place to go. And number two, with this election coming up, there's going to be a lot of people interested in looking for a retreat of sorts to get away from it all." And, you know, I'm not following the race that closely. But all that to say is you could look at this two different ways. You're either retreating from the U.S. from a Donald Trump future, or you may even want to retreat from a Hillary future. I've got no idea.
All right. Have you had any nibbles from American buyers?
We definitely have. In fact, today, even as a result of some of this fun, we've got a couple actually coming to visit to take a look. So from south of the border, from the West Coast. So it's getting around, you know. And for me, it's just, I'm a storyteller by profession. I own a film production company, and we always just want to connect with people in fun, authentic ways. And this is a great way to do it, because we're having this conversation right now. But it does open up the conversation, a real one that I am actually having with a lot of my American friends, saying, if Trump gets in, we want to come to Canada. I remind them it's not as easy as that. You know, you actually have to become Canadian, and that's not just by flicking a switch. But we would like to welcome any American from any political stripe to come up to this part of the world. New Brunswick and the whole Atlantic province region is just dying for new influx of people.
And it is stunningly beautiful out there. Okay, just quickly before we have to say goodbye, do you want to tell us your asking price, or would you go there?
Yeah, it's 174,000 Canadian.
Okay.
On the river. It's even for my Ontario friends. And I think about Muskoka. This is probably a $7 million property in Muskoka.
All right, it's all it's all perspective. Greg Hemmings, I hope the weather clears up for your prospective buyers today. Thanks very much for your time. All the best to you.
Thank you so much.